Now, we actually know on their Twitter, they said we have a collab coming. And it's for the cyberpunk bartender action Valhalla. Now, I'll talk about that a little bit more in this next segment, but just know that this is coming in August, okay? And so let's go ahead and jump into this next segment. And this is something that I am extremely excited to talk about, and I am so hyped for. And it's going to be this right here. We're going to talk about the happenings of the GFL third anniversary live stream that happened a little bit, I would say about halfway through the month of May. So taking a look, I'm not going to read through every single thing. I'll add the links into the description box when this gets put on YouTube. If you want these links during the stream, let me know after the podcast and I'll get these to you. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. It says a third anniversary live stream, 3 years and still growing strong. Okay, so that's something that is very good to hear. So, these are just like little pretty numbers that you can look at, the total number of SF units destroyed, things of that nature. I'm not going to cover every single one of these. The first thing that I do want to mention is their little history lesson or their review. Okay, this game came out on 5/20/2016. Okay, some of the things that I want to kind of look at this cube. They got it 3 months later. Okay, it wasn't until 4 months later that they got their first combat simulation. Imagine a world in which we, the EN server, start playing this game and we don't get any combat sims for 4 months. Imagine how much data you'd miss out on. So that was something that was just mind-blowing to me. Then they got game started on 5/20/2016. In January, Arctic Warfare started up, and that's where they bring in Tidal Heavy Productions. That's where they bring in equipment power-ups. So you're sitting on base equipment for a very long time. And so the thing that I'm trying to I guess bring to light or show y'all, look at this. The ferry system doesn't come until, what is that, almost a year, 14 months later. Like, the thing that I'm trying to show here is that, if you do play on the EN server or you don't really know anything about the older servers, take a look at the history lesson on this link and compare to what we have, man. We've gotten so many things either off the bat, which is a good thing, or we've gotten so many things to come a little bit later than when they got it. Like, if you took a look at this, they get Arctic Warfare with Heavy Productions, but we've been rolling for Heavy Productions the entire time. They got ferry system at the beginning with Deep Dive, or like a day or two before Deep Dive. Do you know how frustrated people would be if we didn't get ours a month or 2 months or a month and a half before Deep Dive? What if we got it the same way that they did? And so, it's one of the things that what I did with this was I looked at it and I said, you know what? For as many complaints as I had about the lack of content or the lack of events or the lack of anything going on, if these older players on the older servers can sit down, grind it out, wait it out, play it out, and they can turn around and just chill, maybe the speed at which it's coming for EN, maybe I can chill out. Because I say this all the time, the game is fundamentally different compared to any other gacha game, in my opinion, that's on the market. And so, if people can sit and wait and chill and relax, and, they're constantly improving, they're constantly adding, they're constantly, giving questionnaires and polls to the older servers, with the theater system, they got a poll, they got, a poll with the FSTs, all these different things coming around. It's something that's so super interesting to just take a look at what they got, when they got it, and then look at us and say, wow, it feels like they're doing a way better job compared to that, or we're being spoiled, or both. And, it's something that I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm thankful for the speed at which we're going, even though a few podcast episodes ago I was hating on it. And so taking a look at it, I'm very, very happy with where we are sitting at. Now, of course, they had more news for their server. They had anniversary stuff, things of that nature, but I'm not going to focus on any of that. If you want to check it out, like I said, you can check it out on this later. But the next thing that I want to look at is this. It says they have new content coming along. And for those of you who read the story, I ain't gonna talk about this picture, but y'all know the business. Something in this picture ain't right. And so we could take a look at this picture and just move on about our business because, maybe this is something to do with the emergency story, or maybe it's something to do with the night story. I don't know, and I don't want to know because I don't like spoilers. And so we just gonna go ahead and move on forward. Taking a look at the next thing, we got a 5th batch of mods. We already know who these mods are. It's going to be Micro Uzi, AS Val, and STG. Now, let me tell y'all something. AS Val, with her mod 3, I'm just saying your boy was ahead of the curve. I already got her leveled up to 90. I just got to push her to 100. She is popping, dude. I'm talking about people are comparing her with Groza type of levels. And so that is very, very nice. I didn't look at Micro Uzi or STG, but I would just assume that they are relatively good, or at least better than what they were. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those as well. The next thing that I want to talk about is the expedition system. Oops, and it says it is in development. And so there's not much to take away from here. But I do want to take a look at, it does say data. 000. What's going on here? We do have these little marks down here at the bottom that we can see. We got one at the 3 hour. We got one at, I would assume, is 1 hour and 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We've got this little running bar right here. We've got 3 hours and 32 minutes, 59 seconds in the top. So I'd assume that's where this bar is at 3 hours, 33 minutes, basically. And so it goes all the way up to 8 hours. I am so curious what they have going on for this expedition system. Okay, so one thing that I was talking about with Snake, and, he is a KR player, and he was telling me that what he was getting from the live stream is he was saying that they don't want to add any more long-term things into the game. And when I say long-term, I'm talking about fairies, FSTs, mods, anything like that, because the more long-term things that you add into the game, the higher barrier of entry becomes. So it's harder on new players, because if you take a look at Snake, and then you take a look at me, I'm able to turn around and level up these fun units, these 3 stars, 2 stars, 4 stars, that he doesn't get the opportunity to level because he has to level the best people because he doesn't have the time to invest into anybody else except the very best because he started a little bit later than what he would have liked to start. So imagine a new player coming in to GFL and they're like, yo, well, I have the fairies that I have to invest in, and then I have all the data that goes along with them. And now you're telling me mods coming in Q4, and you've got to prepare combat sims for them, and then more neural mod for them, and cores on top of all of this. So then you got that. Then you got FSTs to worry about. And so now their barrier of entry, dude, if you get on, if you don't start like low key, if you don't start now, your barrier of entry is about to skyrocket. Okay, so if you got people that are interested, or people, tell them to get on the game right now because it's about to skyrocket as far as like the EN server is concerned. Okay, but I've got fantastic news for you that you ain't got to worry about. So let's go ahead and keep on moving forward. Now we have a new room, and one thing with this room is I would assume that this is going to take batteries. That's what Snake told me. And this room is actually going to be for special equipment for low rarity T-dolls. Now that means these 2, 3, 4-star T-dolls that are, let's say, relatively useless might be able to turn around and become great or usable, in a non-meme team. They become usable or hold their own when we turn around and are able to get their special equipment. Now, I'm thinking of people like Famas. Maybe she gets a special equipment that makes her good. I'm also thinking of someone like Car98K, the face of the franchise, your franchise player. Why is she not one of the most OP players or units in the game? And so that's something that I'm really curious how they're going to use or work, and curious to see. So we're going to have another battery sync on that. Then on this picture down here, I don't really know what's going on right here. It says they have new special visual effects for T-Dolls. There's going to be more on this later. We do see that G11 is sleeping back here on the back left. And then this is the biggest thing that I said don't worry about. One thing that I was talking about just now was there's going to be a higher barrier of entry. However, the thing that they also pointed out was they want to reduce the emphasis on repeated grinding in maps. AKA, you don't have to do 11,000 runs of just 0-2. You can spread your runs out. You can do different maps, so it's not just, oh, real quick, do my 0-2 run. 0-2 is ready again. 0-2, you know, you don't have to do all this repeated grinding on these maps. And so maybe this little thing right here or this expedition system is something coming that's going to help alleviate the grind of 0-2 over and over and over and over again. And so that'll be really good. The only thing that it won't be good for is me, because if it outdates my tutorial to 0-2 series, I think I'm going to have to make a third series for that, just for new players. So it's going to be a little unfortunate for me. But I mean, for everybody else, it's going to be fantastic. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, more power to them. But this is actually really good. The only thing that sucks, like I said, is you're going to lose out on all the data. You're going to have to catch up on data. You're going to have to catch up on neural data. You're going to have to catch up on cores. You're going to have to catch up on ferry, batteries, you know, all of those things. So your barrier of entry is still high. But at least the reduced grinding on one map becomes a little bit lower and potentially more enjoyable. Who knows? Maybe they add other places that you can get EXP and you can just go farm there and then go farm here and farm there, and different ways of playing. Maybe. I'm not going to put anything into their mouths and say this is how they're saying it, but at least they're reducing the repeated grinding on maps, and that's something I'm happy about. They also talk about the Valhalla collab, and this is something that I'm so excited for. Now, first off, we have this little picture. Now, I wish that I could like zoom in on this, but I can't. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be like China, Korea, and Taiwan, or something like that. Like basically the oldest of older servers. They're all getting it in June. Now, one thing that this is the reason why I held out on talking about this, is because basically the way that Micah said is they want EN to be 2 months behind the new events for when we get caught up, just to give them time for translation issues, for bug issues. And if they think that this was terrible for those servers, who knows, maybe they'll change it a little bit, tweak it for us so that it's a more enjoyable experience, right? And so they're getting theirs in June. Okay, well, let's see, July, August. Oh wait, we're getting ours in August. That's 2 months. So then JP is getting theirs in September. Wow. Now, I mean, it could very well be the end of August, and then, you know, they get theirs in the middle of September, like the same way we did with Deep Dive. However, it's something that's still very, very good to hear and very good to see. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention that is because they're on the plan that they said they wanted to be on. So they're showing us that they're committed to getting us 2 months behind. Not only that, we get this at a very quick pace, because it's not something like, hey, they had Deep Dive for a year. Now we're going to have like all our scientific rocket sciences expert analysis to go study that map. And then we're going to get the best possible thing and bring it over. And we're just going to copy that word for word and we're going to get dicked. No, none of that's going to happen. Because what if the best thing that they come up with is not the best thing for us? What if they change just a little bit of what is going to happen for us? You see what I'm saying? So now we get this opportunity to go in truly blind. And that's something that I'm so excited for, that it's going to be happening. Then they do show us a little picture of what they have. They do have this. I mean, it says Springfield is totally capable of being a bartender. Okay, cool. I mean, she's a bartender in the cafe right now. But I mean, I don't know anything about the game. People, like, I mean, you know, KR, they're already getting pictures of the game, and that's being thrown into my Discord. But I mean, as far as anything else is concerned, like, yo, this Like I have no idea about this game. I don't know what the game is about or anything like that. All I know is that I think I see some Jack Daniels and I'm thinking of M16. And so that's all I know literally about this picture. I know nothing else. And so I'm just going to move on forward and just show y'all this picture because I thought it was cool. Now, one thing we do know is the Girls Frontline anime. We finally got some news on that, and that is going to be set for July of 2019. It says a new CV will be coming soon before the summer event, and I would assume that is either going to be Valhalla, maybe, or it's going to be an event that we talked about, like, way up here. What was it? Prospect? Yeah, for this event. Maybe it's one of those two. I'm not 100% sure. But it says the original CVs will be in the animation, and then it's potentially 24 episodes. Now, I don't know if it's just going to be like a lighthearted, memey, funsy type of anime all the way through and through, short, like, 5 to 12 minute episodes. Or I don't know if they're going to turn around and have like actual serious anime episodes and then fill in the rest of them with light episodes until they catch up to the story. Because imagine a world where they turn around and say, yo, check our anime out. Okay, well, we're watching your anime. And then they give us all the juiciest parts, and they're giving us all the story that's animated. The story that we have in the game, and they're animating it. And then right up to the point to where we are in the game, they say, if you want to know more, download the game and play today. And start playing today. And then for this upcoming event. And then what if they introduce their newest event with the end of the anime? Or with some type of something in the anime? I'm just saying the potential is there to do something huge with that. And that's something that's going to be really exciting and really cool. And I'm looking forward to this anime. Now, I'm just saying, hey, it looks clean. It looks good for the one picture that they give us. But I'm pretty hyped about it. For the people who potentially watch KR streams, and I know I'm going to butcher his name, Kisuyung, I don't know how to say his name, but I've seen him playing this game before on his stream, and I thought that it was clean, it looked fun, it looked cool, but I don't know anything about it. For those who know of Bakery Girl, I know that Senpai Waifu Willie knew about it, and apparently this is going to be a Bakery Girl remaster. Now, from what I was getting, or what I was being told, is that this looks like a darker version of Bakery Girl remastered, and different maps and things of that nature. But it does say it's still in development. They'll show more of it in the future live streams or events. It's the same continuity as Girls Frontline, but at a later time. So basically, Girls Frontline is here, and then time progresses, and then Bakery Girl is over here, and so that's how they do that. And then it says certain characters from Girls Frontline may appear. So who knows? That little picture right there looks like IWS to me, like right here. Not in this picture, but who knows how they're gonna do that. Then the last thing that I do want, the merchandise is just like meme stuff. Y'all can check that out. I'm not a memer though. The rest of this is actually super important. And I think this is probably the most important part of the entirety of their live stream, and it's going to be the other section. It says the rate of events may increase. There's going to be less downtime between events. So imagine a world that we live in right now where we're in like quarter two, or like the relatively quarter two, beginning of quarter three, going into our next event. We have to wait all the way until quarter four. Okay, so what if they decreased it and then they said, hey, it might be in quarter three? Or instead of decreasing that amount of time, they're going to increase the little bit of events that go on right here. So that way we don't really have downtime to leave the game, which is one of the things that I was complaining about. Like, keep me in the game. Keep me playing. I love this game. I don't want to play other games. Keep me here. And with this statement, that's what they seem to be doing. Another thing is that they want to allow other T-Dolls to have more screen time. So, if you get 989 in there, or Groza, or like M60, because she's like a hardcore flavor of the week right now for me, and she's going mega hard, like, I'm not going to be mad about that. I think that's going to be really cool. And, they'll be able to show off other people in the game and be like, yo, they were cool in the story, or they were cool in the anime, or they were cool in this. I'm going to level them up, because let me tell you something. Your boy Oath M60. It be like that. Get off of me. If y'all want to know more about that, ask me in Discord, or ask me on stream. The next thing we have is they might add special buffs or effects to certain combinations of T-Dolls to increase flexibility of party compositions. Now, this is what I'm talking about. They are adding so much flexibility to the compositions of the team. So if you turn around and think about it, okay, what if there was some type of increased buff if you have M16 and 416 on the same team? Then you're going to turn around and be like, yo, hey, they might be good separate, but what if I put them together and then I put like 3 other characters together, and let's say like that team is stronger than a typical AR SMG team? Like, then like what if they turn around and say, yo, hey, the FN team in the story, if you put them together, you know, even if they're not the best ones, like, you know, you got a rifle, you got handguns, you got SMGs, but or whatever it is, I don't know, dude, but you put them together and then they get a super buff. The fact that they're looking at this possibility is something that is so intriguing, because now you can actually turn around and say, hey, here is a use for leveling these low level or low rarity characters, because if you do that, they can actually match or go beyond the power of your typical 5-star team comp, 4-star team comp, or what have you. But I think that this is something that is very good. I think that this is adding that next mechanic. So if you have the fairy mechanic, you have the FST mechanic, the mod mechanic, the whatever mechanic, I think this is the next mechanic, and this is going to push mixed teams into play. And I think that if they do it properly, that you can turn around and really have no meta. Now, you could say like, hey, this is the most optimal or whatever, but I think if you have the potential to wipe out meta, because you could say, hey, this one that I do special people matches the same as this one that's special people, and they both work very, very well. And so this is something that I'm so very much looking forward to, because I hate being tied down to 2 AR or 3 AR, 2 SMG. Because, like, dude, you know, I like to theory craft. I like to create team comps. I like to have fun, you know, and look at different ways of playing the game, man. And so this whole like one view perspective is it's cool, but having a second or a third, you know, that would be really it would be so healthy for the game, because then you won't have as many elitists. And so that's something that I think would be really awesome. The next one is they definitely will have one of the protagonist T-Dolls get a remodel during the summer event. Guess which one? A 5-star remodel is also possible in the future. So basically, remodel is the mod system. And so if you have a 4-star unit and they get a mod, then it can bump them up to 5-star. They get a new skill. They get, you know, something different to their tile buff. They get, you know, just, you know, stuff that happens to them that increases them, their efficiency. And so one thing that this is saying is there's a potential 5-star remodel or a 5-star mod to push us to 6-star. Okay, so my thing is if we turn around and get this, it says one of the protagonist T-Dolls. Well, guess what? One of the protagonist T-Dolls on the main team of this story game is Ro. She is a 5-star unit that could easily get mod, and then boom. I'm just saying, if she has the ability to like wiretap or do something, or like interfere with the thing with Sangvis Fairy's communication so that they don't spy in on the AR squad with her little megaphone or whatever, or however she does it, I'm just saying there's potential to do blank with this if she gets 6-star. She could do something really huge, okay? And so we out here popping, all right? And so if you don't give it to her, I mean, obviously you got 416, you got G11, you've got AN94, AK12, you know, they're part of the story as well. You've got so many, you got so much potential, man. That's what I love about GFL, potential. And they're really working it very well. And also, before we move on to the next thing, can my girl UMP9 get some love and get a mod out here? Because your boy got 2 UMP9s sitting at 1 hundo. So I'm going to need that. Thank you. So I'd love to see her get a mod. That'd be awesome. The next thing is going to be the Sangvis Fairy capture soon. A future collaboration with Sangvis Fairy, ? Yuzong accidentally spoiled. And so potentially there's something coming in the future where we collaborate with Sangvis Fairy. Maybe we have to fight against a different enemy. Or maybe I ain't gonna say nothing, but maybe blank is able to do blank with this other person, and then they blank blank. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I ain't trying to give no story spoilers, but I'm just saying y'all need to read the story because it's fire. All right, read the story, please, please. It's so good. But anyway, moving forward with that, then we have the vehicle system. It's a work in progress, but there isn't, but not much has been done yet. It's sort of had a spin off into the expedition system. So maybe this expedition system that we were looking at up here, maybe vehicles have something to do with it. I don't know what they mean by vehicles. Maybe like the bikes, the motorcycles that were driven in Isomer, things of that nature. Maybe they do something with that. I don't 100% know. Imagine a world. What if the expedition system uses vehicles and they're like, okay, you like can roll for vehicles and then you like get XYZ vehicles. And let's say you get like a 5-star vehicle. And then what if that 5-star vehicle can like level you like 10 levels in like 8 hours? And it doesn't matter what 10 levels. It could be like 90 to 100, 8 hours. Boom. If it's a 5-star vehicle. I'm just saying that could really decrease. Dude, that's so like far into left field, but it could decrease the entry of barrier by a lot, assuming you pull these vehicles or however these vehicles work. That's just something I thought of literally off the top of my head just now. And so I think that may play a part into it. I don't know what the vehicles are 100% talking about. Now, I have this Reddit post as well that I do want to take a look at. It's going to be covering the same other section, but there is different wording, so I do want to cover it. It says, in the future, their small event frequency will increase. And so basically, if they don't go from quarter 2 to quarter 4 for a major event and bump it down from quarter 2 to quarter 3, like I said, they might increase like mini events to like that are, not just boss bully, hopefully. And they'll increase like little mini events, and then we can like be playing the entirety all the way through. So I think that'll be really cool. Again, more side story for main story T-Dolls. Get to know your Raifu better. Hey, 9891, Groza, M60, Grape, all these people, check them out. I'm just saying, that'd be really cool to see that. Right here, this is what I was talking about earlier. The 6-star neural upgrade is already planned. Some 5-star dolls, mostly story-related, will receive upgrade soon, TM. And so this is something that I just thought about right now. What if they turn around and say, hey, M4A1, she's 5-star right now with mod 3. What if they push her even further and get her to 6-star? I'm saying that could happen too. SKK, which SKK is Shikikan. Shikikan, which is us, might receive an avatar or some more story attention in the future. Right now, it's all based around the AR Squad and 404 and, these other dolls. But maybe there's something for us. So I'm just saying it could be something to the effect where we turn around and we say, hey, we go here, we chill. And then what if it's like, hey, you can branch off into a different place and you can go over to this side and you can keep on going with Griffin, or you can go over to here and you can, if things are true, you can go with Sanguis Fairy and work with them. And then, you can obviously play both of them, or you can switch at any point or whatever. But then you could really like build the game and say, yo, we can have like guild towers or like guild wars, or like, we can build guilds, and then like, hey, it's going to be friendly battles where Sanguis Fairy goes off against Griffin, and it's just used as skill training or, field training. Like, hey, that stuff happens, man. And so this is all off the top of my head too. And so, they could just do that. It could be, different mechanics of the game, dude. I'm literally foaming at the mouth because there's so many things that they could do. And it's incredible, man. I love it. Then they have more live 2Ds, maybe coming to neural upgraded doll illustrations. So if they get live 2Ds, that's fantastic. Now AR-15 ain't gonna be the only girl on the AR team that has a skin. And, that's my takeaway from that. Then they say, and maybe live 2D for black card skin, and maybe live 2D for 5 black card skins. I think right now it costs 8. And so if that's the case, your boy is not going to buy any skins right now. I'm going to wait until they, change that. And so I'm going to be looking forward to that. Then the Sanguis Fairy capture has news. It's story related or something else that they're not telling us. And so, hey, I'm 100% down with that. I believe it has to be story related because of blank person being over there and they won't blank. And so it's kind of upsetting me. But like, I'm so curious of how that's going to happen and I can't wait to see it play out. Then it says coming into winter event or after the summer event before the winter event, aka late this year, early next year, capture boss and non-boss. I don't know what that means. I ain't even gonna claim to know what that means, but it's gonna be lit. And then it says vehicle, maybe even mech. Now, one reason why I could see it being mech is because like this could be like an airplane, but like what if that was like something that, you know, Shikikan is controlling and it's like a Megazord from like Power Rangers or something. I don't know, dude. But anyway, you get the point. These are the things that I wanted to cover, talking about the entirety of the 3rd anniversary live stream. And TBH, that's just something that I was super excited for. And it was something that I was... the future of the game, dude. It's so high up there, man. Like, I can't wait for it, and I'm extremely excited for it.